Since the very beginning, Big Brother has thrown total strangers into a house with no phones, no internet, and no escape, with nothing to do but compete, scheme, and socialize. It's only natural that sparks start to fly. And when you're cut off from the outside world, even the smallest flirtation can spiral into something way more complicated. Enter the love triangle. What's up, everyone? My name is Andrew Yalo, and today we're going to be discussing, and yes, ranking the top 10 love triangles from Big Brother USA. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and consider becoming a member to get early access to videos like this and much more before they drop. Now, quick disclaimer, if you're a former house guest watching this, first of all, hello, and second of all, please know that this video is just for fun and based mostly on what was shown on the television broadcast of the show. I totally understand that not everything shown on television tells the full story, and I'm not here to pass judgment or bring up anything in a hurtful way. Some of these flings were real, some of them were exaggerated, and some definitely fizzled out on their own, and that's just the nature of reality TV and real life. My goal here is to celebrate the chaos, not stir any drama, and with that being said, let's get into the video. Before we get into the video, let's look at the definition of a love triangle. A love triangle is a romantic situation involving three people, where at least two are pursuing a relationship with the third, or where one person is involved in two romantic relationships simultaneously. Now, there's only been like a handful of love triangles on Big Brother in its 25 years of being on the air. There's definitely going to be some that are left out of this video just based on me not remembering, but I think I nailed down this list to a T, and here's my top 10. Now, the first one on my list, I think it's more of just like an honorable mention. I think it's really funny, and I kind of had to mention it. But coming in at number 10 is Brittany, Lane, and Brittany's fiance from Big Brother 12. Now, yes, it was mostly played for laughs on the show, but there was definitely some undertones and sexual tension between the two. Lane had a few confessionals where he talked about Brittany like she was his little sister, and Brittany pretty much echoed the same vibe. But let's not forget the iconic moment when Lane saw photos of Brittany and her actual fiance during her head of household reign, and he got offended because he saw the guy had a beard, and Lane thought his was way better.
Nick, this is the guy I've been compared to? I take it really personal when Brittany says, "Oh, Nick has a beard, it's just like yours, Lane." Liar! This is a beard. Whatever he has is some 12-year-old painting something on his face.
Was it jealousy? Probably not. Was it entertaining? Absolutely.
I love role-playing. I've role-played a couple times back in Texas, mainly with horses and cows, wondering what they're saying and what they would say to me.
At number 9, we have Cam, Mackenzie, and Chelsea. This one wasn't too much of an impactful love triangle, but it's funny because all three of them actually made it to the top 3 in their season. In BB26, Mackenzie started the season in a showmance with Matt, but once he was evicted, it seemed like their romance would be put on hold for a while. Fast forward to about 2 months later, and we're approaching the final 8, and Mackenzie and Cam started having a flirtmance/cuddlemance. Jesus Christ. And on the other hand, we had Chelsea getting upset with how close Mackenzie was getting with Cam.
Cam is cramming his bed next to Mackenzie, and this is Cam's whole game. He gets close with the women, flirts with them, and I'm not here for it.
I don't know. To me, it seemed like Chelsea had a little bit of a crush and was jealous of them, and it was apparently important enough to get a small segment dedicated in an episode. And if you watch the live feeds, you actually saw how close Cam and Mackenzie were during the season.
In the back of my mind, game-wise, like, what are we even arguing for in public? You're supposed to be the one person in this game that should be solid. Do you want to still work with me? Do you want to go to the end with me? Like, is our relationship as close as I thought it was?
At number 8, we have Bridget, Michelle, and Frank from Big Brother 18. Frank and Bridget got very close during the season, and although nothing physical ever really happened between the two, Bridget seemed to be attached to Frank at the hip and was swooning over him. Meech later expressed that she resented Bridget because Michelle was a huge fan of Frank and wanted to work with him, but she couldn't because Bridget was all over him.
Because me and Frank, we used to be like this, then you swooped in, but it's like you're playing this whole innocent act.
Michelle, but I tried so hard to be your friend.
At number 7, we have the love triangle between Frank, Ashley, and Ian from Big Brother 14. Wow, Frank's just all over this list. It's just not surprising to me. Honestly, I almost forgot this one even happened. It ranks this low because it didn't really have much of an impact on the season overall, but it was definitely one of those more awkward triangles we've seen. Ashley was well liked in the house and ended up catching the eye of both Ian and Frank. The house guests set up a G-rated date between Ian and Ashley in the arcade room, and Ashley seemed almost completely uninterested and later expressed that she would rather just be friends with Ian. Not long after, she planned an actual date with Frank in the head of household room, and let's just say that that date had way more sparks.
Do you want to make out on the couch for a little bit?
All right, let's do it.
All right.
You being serious?
Yeah.
One of my favorite moves that I like to pull out of the bag is just to flat out, hey, you want to make out on the couch? And truth is, it works most of the time.
This kind of all went down before Frank became the house pariah. From there, things escalated and Ian and Frank ended up actually targeting each other down the line. Ian ultimately came out on top, but as expected, nothing between Ashley and Frank lasted outside of the house. At number 6, we have Nick, Bella, and Kat from Big Brother 21. I have not gone back and watched this season since it aired. I really have no desire to watch it. Not one of my favorites. But to quickly recap this love triangle, Bella and Nick had a showmance for the entirety of Bella's time inside the house. After Bella got evicted and went home, Nick remained in the game and eventually made it to jury. While Bella was back at home, there was some uncertainty about whether the couple would last until the season wrapped, especially given how long Big Brother seasons usually are. But Nick kind of answered that question for us once he and Kat ended up in the jury house together. Nick and Kat started hooking up in the jury, and honestly, if you're Nick and Kat with nothing to do besides talk and listen to Jack and Annalise hooking up, it's not hard to imagine how that showmance started. The unfortunate part was that Bella couldn't really do anything about it. And like the rest of us, she found out about the new relationship from home. Now, none of this really impacted the actual season since all of this kind of happened post-game, but to me, it's one of those really messed up scenarios that felt a little bit disrespectful to Bella, seeming how close she felt with Nick throughout the entire season. That said, none of it ultimately mattered. None of these relationships lasted outside the show anyway. At number 5, we have one of the most recent drama-filled love triangles in recent memory. We have Lauren, Zach, and Morgan from Big Brother 27. As someone who's been glued to the feeds this season, let me break this down for you. Zach likes Lauren, Morgan likes Zach, and Lauren's playing Big Brother. That's in the words of Vince, of course. Lauren has made it clear to the other house guests that she's not interested in a showmance or relationship, likely because she's aware of how it could hurt her game. Meanwhile, Zach has made it abundantly obvious that he's casually interested in pursuing something with Lauren. Then there's Morgan, who, since night 1 on the feeds, has made it crystal clear through her body language that she's into Zach. This dynamic was even addressed in a recently aired episodes, so it's not just something that I picked up on from observation. It's very clear that Morgan is into the guy. Since this is all currently unfolding and the season is still airing, I'll go ahead and make a prediction. I think Zach will come out on top of the situation in terms of game performance. I don't see any of these relationships lasting outside of the game. They rarely do. But I could see there being a chance for Lauren and Zach afterward. Morgan, on the other hand, seems caught up in the moment and might eventually look for a reason to target Lauren, though I doubt it. But hey, you never know in the game of Big Brother. At number 4, we have Taylor, Joseph, and Monty from Big Brother 24. Now, I want to preface this one by saying I absolutely love all 3 of these people, and bringing this up is tough because I know it wasn't easy for any of them to go through. It was a little awkward, but let's quickly rehash on what happened. In the first half of the BB24 season, while Taylor was playing from the bottom, Joseph quickly became one of the few house guests to genuinely connect with her. Their relationship slowly developed as they became close allies in the Leftovers Alliance. Joseph and Taylor spent a lot of time together, cuddling, flirting, and hyping each other up. Fans started calling them jailer, and many of them were rooting for a real showmance to happen. But after Joseph's surprise eviction, where he didn't even get a chance to explain himself or say goodbye, Taylor was clearly heartbroken. But with Joseph gone and the game entering its final stretch, Monty and Taylor began spending more time together. Eventually, that connection turned romantic, and they ended up hooking up in the head of household room, making their bond both strategic and personal. Joseph found out about Taylor and Monty's relationship while he was in the jury house, and understandably, he felt extremely betrayed.
That's, I guess, their business, or I don't know.
Those feelings of hurt came and went, though. Taylor went on to win the season, and after the show ended, she and Monty didn't pursue anything further romantically, but instead, Taylor and Joseph reunited post-season and officially became a couple outside of the house, which was a huge win for the Jailer fans. Unfortunately, they later announced their breakup in 2023, but have remained very close friends, so there's at least a silver lining there.
I share a bedroom with Monty, so when he doesn't come to that bedroom every night, there's only so many places he could be. Clearly, he is sleeping upstairs with Taylor.
At number 3, we're taking it all the way back to Big Brother 1. Now, before you skip past this part of the video for anybody that hasn't watched Big Brother 1, because I'm sure not many of you have, I need to give this season some flowers. It's definitely not the most entertaining season of all time, but Big Brother 1 might honestly be one of my favorite seasons just because of how raw and honest the house guests were with each other and how close of a connection you felt as a viewer to them. It felt like you were watching real people go through real emotions, and it wasn't just gameplay. The love triangle from Big Brother 1 was between Josh, Jordan, and Brittany. Josh was considered the most attractive guy in the house that season, and not surprisingly, he caught the attention of most of the women, especially Brittany and Jordan. Josh played a laid-back social game while low-key leading on both Jordan and Brittany. Jordan had a boyfriend back home, but made it pretty clear that she had strong feelings for Josh. Brittany, on the other hand, was a virgin and didn't want to rush into anything physical, which left Josh in a really tough spot. Honestly, it kind of felt like Josh just wanted a summer fling, but the producers dropped him into a house where romance options were, let's just say, not lining with his expectations. Eventually, things hit a boiling point when Brittany and Jordan compared notes and realized Josh had been playing both sides. They confronted him together, leading to one of the biggest moments of the season at that point. This was the ultimate payoff to a love triangle that had been slowly simmering all season, and probably one of the only examples on the list where all three people sat down and openly hashed it out with each other.
You know, I talked to you about Brittany, and you'd always kind of pass her off. Like, I'm not attracted to her. I just think she has a cool personality. I just want to have fun.
You acted like you were interested in me, so that, like, was weird to hear.
It was weird to hear that?
It was weird to hear that, like, you're totally not, and you have, like, the hots for Jordan.
At number 2, we have the messy love triangle between Fessy, Caitlyn, and Haley from Big Brother 20. This one's a doozy. Fessy came into the house and quickly formed close bonds with both Haley and Caitlyn. From early on, Fessy and Haley had a flirty connection, but they didn't lock in on a full showmance right away. Meanwhile, Caitlyn, who had a boyfriend outside of the house, mind you, developed a deep emotional attachment to Fessy. At times, she came off as extremely possessive, and anytime Fessy gave attention to Haley, Caitlyn would get noticeably jealous. Fessy, while clearly more interested in Haley, would still entertain Caitlyn's advances to some extent, which only made the whole situation messier. Things finally exploded when Fessy won the power of veto and used it on Haley instead of Caitlyn, making it clear where his loyalty really was. Caitlyn felt completely blindsided and heartbroken, and her eviction not long after became one of the most iconic breakdowns in Big Brother history when she couldn't put together a 7-piece puzzle. After Caitlyn was gone, Fessy and Haley finally became an official couple inside the house. They continued dating for a while after the show and even did some postseasons events together, which I went to, but they ultimately broke up in 2020. Now, before we reveal the number 1 love triangle in Big Brother history, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe with notifications turned on so you never miss videos like this in the future. And if you haven't already, consider becoming a channel member. It's the best way to support the channel, and you'll get early access to videos just like this before anyone else. Huge shout out to all my current members. Your support means the world. All right, let's get on to our number 1 pick. Coming in at number 1, we have the love triangle of Jesse, Lydia, and Natalie from Big Brother 11. A love triangle that wasn't the most physical, but absolutely one of the most game-changing and detrimental we've seen in the history of the show. Now, to set the stage, Jesse returned as the sole veteran after his brief but iconic run in Big Brother 10. This time in Big Brother 11, he came back stronger, aligned with the athletes clique, and he was positioned really well in the game. Very quickly, Jesse found himself at the center of 2 intense relationships, one with Lydia and one strategic relationship with Natalie. Lydia, quirky and emotionally open, developed a close and flirty bond with Jesse. While he was head of household, the two of them even hooked up, something that wasn't publicly known until after his eviction. Natalie, meanwhile, had a tight ride or die loyalty to Jesse. Although they weren't physical, Natalie often acted like the alpha, brushing off Lydia's presence and being visibly territorial. The tension between Lydia and Natalie was palpable, especially whenever it seemed like Jesse was favoring one over the other. The love triangle quietly simmered for weeks, with Jesse, of course, playing both sides and pinning Lydia and Natalie against each other without either of them realizing it. That all came crashing down when Jeff Schroeder used the coup d'etat twist to overthrow Jesse's HOH reign and send him packing in one of the season's most iconic moments. After Jesse's eviction, in one of the weirdest scenes in Big Brother history, Lydia and Natalie actually held a mock funeral for Jesse, drinking wine together and bonding over their shared grief, even though they still clearly couldn't stand each other. Lydia and Natalie eventually compared notes about Jesse, and that's when Natalie learned how close Jesse and Lydia had actually been, including their physical relationship. Realizing Jesse had been manipulating them both left Natalie feeling blindsided and Lydia feeling emotionally wrecked. Fast forward to finale night, Natalie is sitting in the final 2 next to Jordan, and you'd probably expect both Jesse and Lydia to vote for Natalie, right? You would be wrong. Despite their alliances, neither Jesse nor Lydia voted for Natalie to win. Lydia felt emotionally betrayed, believing Natalie had used Jesse for strategy while shunning Lydia's feelings in the process. Jesse, on the other hand, respected Jordan's game more and felt like Natalie had coasted too much. Both cast their votes for Jordan, helping her win the season. And with that, that's going to be our video today. If you enjoyed, again, please like the video and subscribe for more. I think my next video that I'm going to do is going to be ranking the movie rewards from Big Brother. I think that's going to be a real fun one to do. That was suggested by somebody that was in my Discord server. So guys, if you want to suggest videos for me, or if you just want to be a part of the Discord community that we have growing right now, we have 1,100 members in my Discord server. I leave a link in every single video for it. So if you want to become a member of my Discord and aren't in it already, make sure to join it now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.
Are you full?
Yeah. Because I had those chicken fajitas earlier.
Oh yeah, those look good.
Yeah, that's my lunch technically.